Bring them bad boys to life, you know what I'm saying? It's that swing shit, you know. Yeah.
All right, people, it's your boy Rio. We here, Black Dollars Media, to keep on pushing podcast interview series. On this good rainy Sunday night, you here with a special guest, artist Lukas Swing.
What's up, man?
Thank you for coming on the show and just talking to the people, man. Introduce yourself to the people a little bit.
What's up, man? It's your boy Lukas Swing, man. You know what I'm saying? From Charleston, South Carolina originally. Born and raised here. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a blessing all the years that I've been able to get so much love and support from the city,
All right, well, that's what we here for today, just to give the people a little story of Luka, what he got going on, what he has been doing, and then, just to connect with the people. So my first question tonight would be, who is Lukas Swing?
So, like I said, I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I am a R&B and hip-hop artist / producer as well. Also, I own a business called 8 World ENT LLC. We host stages for shows all over Charleston. We did our first show here, actually. So our next ones that we're going to be bringing to Charleston is going to be a little different. We're going to definitely do more vibes outside of the residential area. So we're definitely looking to, look for people out here that actually want to, put down for the Carolinas and actually make something of themselves, you know what I'm saying? So we're definitely pushing the movement as well and getting a positive environment as well. That's one of the main things we love to have is positive people with positive aspects on life, business and music as well.
All right. So when did you first get inspired to get into music?
I would say my father, man. My father, he was a saxophone player for 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? And so
what's his name?
His name is Mr. Gank, Johnny Gank. He played saxophone for Baptist Hill High School. You know what I'm saying? All the way back when Baptist Hill was he's from Hollywood, South Carolina, so he definitely instilled music in me at a very early age. I was playing piano for 14 years. I became a producer, I would say about 2.5 years ago. Before then, like I said, I was just playing the piano, and I became an artist actually 4.5 years ago.
So when was like your first live performance? Would you say like with the piano and stuff? Would you say like would that be in church?
Yes, it would be in church. I was in Columbia, South Carolina. I definitely did a lot of piano in church in Columbia, South Carolina. That's when I got the first feel of performing in front of people.
Yeah.
That was kind of a scare. And then after that, my first artist performance was at a Juneteenth event down at Folly Beach. We had a Juneteenth event. That was my first actual artist performance where I went on stage and did my thing. But I'm telling you right now, guys, that video was, just know it was my first time.
So what was I'm going to separate it into two questions because what was your first experience like in the church? Also, what was your first experience like at Folly Beach? And if you could, like any connections between the two, or was it like just two totally different type?
It was two totally different things because like being in the church, you know what I'm saying, you're doing it for a whole different cause. For me, church was definitely trying to get more involved with God and trying to, seek what he has planned for me. I've been in and out of church for a while trying to get it right, you know what I'm saying? So that aspect and going into what we have now is way different because now that I'm more mature and I know more now, it's like the church definitely brought a lot as far as when it comes to like being in front of a crowd and stuff like that. And so like as far as like performing in front of people as a regular artist, that was kind of different for me as well because in church everybody's more focused on God, but then when you're like on stage, people are actually looking at your performance itself.
Right, or they will judge you.
They will judge you.
Folks will.
Yes, they
let
will.
You know.
Yes, they will. And I've had to gain my comfortability with actually performing and stuff like that. It's been something I was a shy kid growing up, so when I got to a place where I could actually open up and be more open to the crowds, you know what I'm saying? That's when I was able to bring out who Lukas Swing is, you know what I'm saying? I'm very energetic on stage and stuff like that, and like to run around and dance and all that, so
So when did the concept of Lukas Swing develop?
The concept of Lukas Swing developed when I started listening to R&B music.
All right.
So before, my dad, he listened to a lot of James Brown, R. Kelly, a lot of Mint Condition, Jodeci. Then I really depicted one person from Jodeci who I really found extremely talented, and that was Devontae Swing. Now, I didn't understand too much about what his role was until I realized that he produced all the music for them.
Right.
On top of being an artist as well. You know what I'm saying? And so my dad always told me growing up, he said, son, if you want to learn how to make money as a musician, you need to learn how to do everything. So, like that's where it started out for me, playing the piano, and then me getting into trying to figure out exactly what it is I wanted to do with my music as well. And I love R&B. I love expressing myself. So that's like R&B music has always been my thing where I'm able to express myself at a full potential.
So you was like, give me the age range of when you started to transform into Lukas Swing.
I started I would say actually in my teens is when I actually started transforming, because my dad had me strictly on like Bach, classical music, Beethoven, and all that. And then when I started not to like it anymore, he was like, all right, we're going to switch you over to any type of music you want to play. That's what we're going to do.
So you're coming into your puberty.
Exactly.
And you're listening to, BET, MTV, whatnot, and you're seeing stuff like Belle Biv DeVoe and that type of music. At that time, it was New Jack Swing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it was a fusion of hip-hop and R&B, pretty big at the moment, early 90s like that. And then you're developing the image. I don't like the word image, but that's what we want to use for the conversation. The kind of personality, Lukas Swing, which is really an extension of who you are yourself anyway.
Most definitely.
And that's where that came in at.
Most definitely.
Cool. Dig that. So it was something you were saying about how your pops was telling you that if you want to do it, you need to know everything about it.
Right.
What is some of the everything that other people might not know outside of the just going to a studio and making a song?
So for me, I kind of have a different look at music. A lot of people, they hear something and they judge it based off what they hear out in the world already. Me personally, I feel like music can't flop because each and every one of us individually has a different opinion on music. So when I started to realize that, I can make any type of music, any type of sound that I want, and I can literally use that for a fan base. And so that's when I started to like swing into different type of genres, from not just hip hop but R&B. I would say more hype music for club vibes, for the island vibes as well. So that's why I kind of branched off into like multiple different genres of music.
Where did why choose that route of multiple genres instead of like focusing on one thing? Like, I mean, not trying to compare myself to you, but like I'm strictly I'm a rap hip hop nigga.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Why do the multiple instead of just the focusing on one path?
I have what you would call a lot of different experiences with life, being able to travel. My dad was in the military, so I got to experience like going into different clubs when I was like 16 and 17 in Germany. I got to experience what the crowd loves. And us being from so many different cultures, there's so many different vibes of music that for me, I just love music.
Right.
So I couldn't just stick to hip hop or just R&B. I had to try something a little different that could entice the ear. And I like to surprise people with different sounds a lot.
So this is kind of an extension of what you were just saying. What motivates you to create your music?
What motivates me is the challenge. It's the challenge itself. I love being challenged. I love being able to try new things. I love being able to express myself in so many different ways. Like even as a producer, that you like, a lot of producers, they don't really get highlighted like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but even as a producer, making a song or producing a song, it's like you get to put your feeling into that too. And I'm all about feels. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about a low vibration or high vibration frequencies and all those different things as well. So that plays a major part in the type of music that I put out, and from the dark vibes to the up tempo, to the slow R&B vibes, to the sad songs, to the happy songs, to the get money songs. It's just everything. Really, most of my music is actually what's going on in my life.
Right.
So that's kind of how I'm able to express it that way.
So if you had one or would say that you had one, who would you consider to be a mentor of yours?
Mentor of mine would be, I would say, Mr. Twin D. Twin D, man, he first starting into going in with Twin D. Like at first, when we first had my first studio session with him, it was more based off I guess he was feeling me out, trying to see what type of artist I was.
Right.
And then going back to him more and more, it's like he's starting to understand what I want to do. And he also is at the same time of me going into the studio, he's actually teaching me and guiding me and coaching me on what to do during certain songs. Like for example, this new song I just came out with, 1992, on the ad libs. He was like, man, you shouldn't be reading your lyrics during your ad libs. That's when you're supposed to feel it. So he gives me that okay, that's when I need to feel it. That's when I need to go into what I need to do next to bring out my music more.
So in this industry, in this game, it's a lot of the competition is fierce.
Yeah.
So would you say that everyone needs a mentor in this game, or should have one?
Based off of my opinion, it's really good to have someone that's been there and done that, because when you have someone that's been there and done that, they're able to coach you through things that you might not understand. Like I would say, in my first couple of years going through music, there were some instances that I had with people that I've dealt with that kind of distracted me from what I was supposed to be doing with music. I got too much into the controversy side of things, being in competition, or not in that necessarily competition, but being a head runner with a lot of other people in the city itself. You kind of find yourself. I see personally that when you're in a spotlight, a lot of people don't like that, and when the spotlight is not on them, sometimes that tends to bring a lot of controversy and problems and issues and stuff like that. So when it's all about being humble, you know what I'm saying? That's
right.
One of the biggest things that I learned growing up is about being humble and being able to be open for correction. I've had a lot of people that have come to me that says, hey man, so-and-so has been speaking negatively on you because of something that you said or something that you did. And you have to be able to hold yourself accountable to those situations and being able to, be the bigger person and apologize and stuff like that. And that's kind of what, makes you as an artist at the end of the day, being open for correction. Because you never know, something that you may say may offend someone else that you don't even know. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just about, people's opinions and how they, how they think.
And I'm kind of glad that you did bring that up, because that was one of my questions. And I was going to ask you, how has being in this industry, dealing with the pettiness that comes with this, how has that affected you mentally and or physically?
If you would have asked me that question 2 years ago, I probably would have gave you an immature answer. But today, I would say it's made me a better man, a better father, a better listener. I'm more open, like I said, open for correction. I'm always willing to learn. It's definitely made me see that there's more than three sides to a story. There's more than it's more sides. There's a lot of sides. People's mindsets can also be different. So you have to understand that going into a professional atmosphere with things of those nature, it can change you.
Right.
And for me, it changed me for the better. I'm not in the streets at all. I don't do any. I'm merely focused. Like if you were to check my Facebook and Instagram out, it's strictly music. I don't flash money. I flash shoes because I love sneakers.
Right.
But
right.
other than that, I don't flash money. I don't flash anything other than the music itself, the product.
Why make music instead of having any other career? And then people in this game, in real life,
Yeah.
people do have primary jobs, and that the music is something that we push until we're able to make that the primary thing.
Right.
But why music? Why even waste or invest any time in music as opposed to just putting your energy into other things?
For me, music is definitely, as most would say, it's a way to express yourself. But for so long, I've been in a position to where I've had so much bottled up from my experiences of not knowing who I was as a person. I went through those problems as well, because as many of you may know by now, I was adopted. I didn't know who my parents was until 30. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know where they come from. Come to find out, now that I've met my real family, all of my family is in the music industry. So that kind of like branched off into why I wanted to do this, and I also wanted to be a success. I wanted to be able to have a story to tell for my kids. You know, whenever they get older, like, you know, your dad wasn't just, you know, another guy. He was able to make something of himself, and he started from nothing, you know, with his music, and he was able to grow to a pinnacle or a status to where he can, you know, sit back and collect his royalties, you know, and feed the family.
Right.
Yeah.
Where were you when you wrote your first song?
I was in my son's closet.
Yeah, why were you in the closet?
Hey, at the time, I'm telling you, when I first started, I literally had a cheap mini laptop,
All right.
a Bluetooth speaker from Family Dollar, and it lit up. And that's where it started, man. Like, that's exactly where it started. I was in my son's closet. I turned his closet into a mini studio. I had a little red light.
Right.
And I was just in there.
So were you writing or was you?
I was writing. I was locked in, locked in. And my child's mother, she would tell you, like, I wouldn't come out of there. I would stay in there 24 plus hours. The room would smell like yesterday.
What led to that? Like, was there, like, okay, so it's one day you weren't locked in and then one day you were locked in. What was that made you say, you know what, I'm gonna sit in this goddamn closet and I'm gonna go hard? What was it?
It was just the love of music. I love it. Like, I would marry it. If I had 2 wives, it would be music would be you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely would be my second love is definitely music, you know what I'm saying? God first and music, and I just can't I can't stop doing it no matter how hard it gets. And I'm telling you, it gets hard, man. There are times, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, every time I release a song, I get depressed because I feel like I'm ahead of my time.
Right.
Yeah, so when you're ahead of your time, a lot of people, they look over everything until it actually sinks in, like, okay, he's actually in story mode explaining what he's going through life. And a lot of people don't understand that. But when I'm able to see people in my comments and my stories and people sharing and being able to connect, that brings joy to me, because that means that I'm able to connect and help someone get through a situation, or help them connect and feel like they can grasp onto something that I have done, and it can help them through a situation they're going through.
So there's a difference between, you know, just having a love and just having a passion for the music and just creating the music, to actually going through the stress and trauma of putting together a production.
Right.
So, what did they do? Yes. So, and there's a difference between actually putting together a production. So when did you, how were you able to get into the actual business side of the music game?
The business side started out with Sean Dobie and Miss Lisa. Those two people, they definitely opened my eyes to the things that I needed to do to make sure that I wasn't just doing it for a hobby. And it actually started with my child's mother. She brought it to my attention a long time ago. She was like, "You're not making no money from your music, so why are you doing it?" And when you're not making no money from something, that can be very stressful. Yes. Especially when you spending hours and hours trying to make it right, you know? So getting all my T's crossed and my I's dotted was something that was very important to me. And then, you know, once I realized what I was doing and trying to make money off of it, then I started to actually understand that good days are to come.
So that kind of segues to Charleston's music industry is in its infant stages.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. Why stay in Charleston as opposed to going to Miami, Atlanta, New York, LA, to have that as a headquarters? Is it? I mean, I'm just asking because I know that it could be reasons.
Yeah. So for me, one of the main reasons was seeing what social media can do. And I watch people that have come from cities that have a population of 5,000 and they've blown up. And yeah, they moved on later in life, but I want to be one of those guys that can stay in the city where I grew up in and can actually do something for my community, as far as, like, you know, school events, back to school events, talking to the kids, getting them involved. And I also wanted to bridge a gap. So that's why, I stay in Charleston for my music, but I always branch off and go to different cities and states and try to connect with people outside of the city so that the gap can be bridged, so that it can be some form of, a bridge that people can walk on and get to that next step or that next level where they're trying to seek.
How would you gauge success in the music industry or having a successful career?
That's a beautiful question. So for me, I actually just came out with a song called "The Difference," and it's about success. The difference is basically everybody looks at the success differently. I started living life, at the age of like 15 or 16. I was homeless out here. Homeless out here, just running buck wild, doing crazy things that I shouldn't have been doing. And, those are my lowest stages in life. And as I grew as a man, from a boy to a man, it kind of like, it set in with me on a level of where I feel like as we grow as people, you got to be able to reach out and network. Networking is a big thing, right. Especially being from a city like Charleston. So, I would say just that in the sense of being able to reach out and network and get out here and make something of myself and put my name out here, whether people love me or not. Sometimes they love me, sometimes they don't.
So you're not gauging your success on views or record sales. It's more about the impact that you make on the community that's surrounding you.
Exactly. It's definitely on the impact because, like I said, man, like everybody looks at success differently. I could still be in the same circle, in the same loop that I was in, struggling, trying to find my way, but instead, God blessed me with the opportunity to do music and do something I love to do, and just doing what you love to do. Whether it be one person listening or thousands of people listening, that in itself is success, whether you get rewards or not,
Have you done any touring? And if you have, what has that been like?
I've only performed in Germany one time. That was when I was younger. And I've done some shows in North Carolina. I did a show in Atlanta. Most of my shows I did were in Charleston. They were like, showcase events and stuff like that. And I think my biggest show I did was at the Squiz Lounge before it shut down. That was my biggest stage that I ever set on in the city itself.
Right.
Other than that, when I did the BET Award Show weekend joint, that was a pretty decent crowd too, where I was able to experience the feels of being in front of hundreds and thousands of people. That was definitely a feel that I'm definitely into. But I've realized that I'm more of a now, like, a lot of my music and stuff like that. Being a performer is definitely a part of my repertoire. But at the same time, it's like I'm so focused on the actual product that a lot of times I don't even get out. I'm still like, there's some loops that I still am involved in as far as like with my repertoire as far as producing, but I'm just so stuck in the studio day in and day out, whether it be Twin D or my own studio, that I don't really get out too much. I just produce the music, make the content on Instagram and Facebook and all the social media platforms that I have, and I send it out for the people to hear and grasp to. And then when I go out and I speak with the people, or I see them in person, then that's how I connect that way as well.
So this next question that I have is going to lead into another question, okay. And it's kind of like, this is me just really being nosy. I saw that you were having like a festival, a local festival, was it like a month or so ago?
Yes.
Can you explain what that was all about?
So that's when I did a song called, what the title of my business is, 8 World.
All right.
So 8 World started off as a clothing brand, and I wanted Charleston to have something that could stick. You guys know we have Chucktown, Hit Factory, stuff like that, and we also have like different clothing brands in Charleston that have stuck with us for a while now. And I understood that being an artist, you can't just make music. You gotta have merchandise, because a lot of artists, they make more money off their merchandise than they do the actual music. So
that's where the money come in at.
Exactly. So that's when I started making merchandise, started making clothes and stuff like that, and that's doing pretty well. So I got hats, sweaters, t-shirts, vintage tees from 8 World, and then we actually have an 8 World a shirt that has all the artists on the back that came to the festival, and the shirt's packed from top to bottom. So it definitely was something that was a success. We had influential people that were there that helped. Like we had Miss Jamila, she was there. She was the actual event planner, and she definitely made sure that everything was precise. And then we had Stage Presence LLC who brought the stage out, and that's kind of how I got enticed by wanting to own stages.
Right.
And owning stages, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say if, when I make it to that stature where I'm A-list or B-list celebrity, whatever the case may be, I want to be able to have something that can continuously keep bringing in revenue to pay for my music.
Right.
Because music is extremely expensive. I'll tell you guys right now, music is extremely expensive. So,
and that's just to make it. We're just talking about the marketing.
The marketing, the billboard, it's expensive. So I was like, to be able to connect with artists that are bigger than me, that have more influence than me, why not start owning stages or start purchasing some stages that I could have these artists come out on, you know what I'm saying, and build. So I felt like having a company where I can have a stage and bring influencers from all over the world, that's kind of where that came from. Is being able to have that vision of seeing, you know, a Drake or Alicia Keys or John Legend on a stage that I own.
Now, I don't want you to give the people all of your secret sauce. You don't got to give it all to them. But what are some marketing strategies or some promotional type things that you would advise younger artists that's coming up, that's trying to do their thing in the game?
Well, I'm gonna toot my horn real quick. Gotta have the look. Got to have the look. But at the same time, even if you don't have the look, there's something called shock marketing. If you guys don't know what shock marketing is, I'll give you a little insight. Shock marketing is, I don't know if you see on Facebook sometimes, if you pay attention, there's a lot of Facebook pages out there that females, they like to shake their ass, you know what I'm saying? They like to, you know, and that attracts attention. So shock marketing attracts attention naturally. So the things that attract attention to a natural human eye would be, you know, sex appeal. It would be, of course, great music. And if they don't know you, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to listen. They're going to swipe past. But that's why shock marketing is very important. Knowing how to do it, sometimes shock marketing can be forced, or it can be reciprocated in a way where some people may not like it and some people may love it. You know what I'm saying? So shock marketing definitely what I use a lot. I use that a lot. But as far as like promotion and stuff like that, I do a lot of different campaigns, a lot of different looks, clothes. I like to tag my music when I'm putting on a new outfit or new shoes or something like that. Because, you know, people love shoes, people love clothes. So I do stuff like that to catch the eye. And when you catch the eye, you can also catch the ear.
Okay, so would you advise artists, let me rephrase that. What's your opinion on paying Facebook or Instagram to promote your post or market whatever you have going on at the time?
It's definitely, it works. It does work. If you're looking for a reaction, it definitely does work. But I will say that when you are promoting a song or some type of whatever, or your business, whatever it is that you're promoting, you want to always give people a link. You always want to give people something that they can go to. So my opinion is, I feel like it's pretty good as long as you are directing your as long as you're directing your viewers to something that they can hold on to when it comes to who you are as a person or who you are as an artist. That's why I always have a link every time I do it, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be, if I wear different shoes or a different outfit, I'm always, you know, shock marketing all over again, you know.
Right. The expand on the link part, just my little 2 cents.
Yeah.
It's this thing in marketing and sales where it's always get to the close. At the end of the day, where you as an artist, you have a product or you have a service.
Right.
The product being your merchandise, the service being your vocal talents or your writing talents.
Exactly.
So when he's saying that you need to post the link is the direct connection to your money.
Exactly.
When they hit that link, that's going to send them to where you're getting your money.
Right.
And that's just important to know that you're as an artist, you're also a salesman. You're selling a brand.
Most definitely.
And one of the rules of selling is always close. As soon as you ask one question, you're trying to close the deal. Hey, you want to get this? And I mean, it can seem. I say it can seem for those that are not business minded, it would seem as you're being annoying or you're being getting on people's nerves. But no, that's not how this works. There's a science to selling things to people.
Yes.
Out of 100 people, you're only probably going to get 1 or 2 sales. But if you get those 1 or 2 sales about 3,000, 4,000 times, you're getting some money. So you got to have patience. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be a quick thing. I mean, for some it is, for some it's not. But don't count other niggas' pockets. Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion.
Oh yeah.
So you touched on that one of the important things is that an artist should have a look. How should an artist go about putting together their image or performance personality?
Well, I would say, my look is definitely a 90s version. I definitely love the bad boy R&B. That's my look. I love the Jodeci look that they had back in the day. And that's what created so much controversy back then, is Jodeci was an R&B group, but they were dressing as if they were hip-hop. And it was like, and that's where Devontae Swing came in, because it was like Devontae Swing came in with a R&B look, but he was producing not R&B, hip-hop as well.
Boy, you and my nigga Keenan would love each other. Boy.
Yeah,
that bitch
bro.
talking about Jodeci day and night.
Man, day and night, bro. You good, bro? Like I just see the potential. I like to look like. I like to look different from everyone else. That's where the tattoos came in. The tattoo era that was really popular. And in another way, tattoos express yourself as well. You know what I'm saying? Having a lot of tattoos for me was a expression that I am not one that can be binded down by what the natural world believes is a thing. Because there was a time, ladies and gentlemen, for all y'all old heads, y'all know back in the day, if you had tattoos, it was a bad thing. It was, you couldn't get a job, you couldn't get anything. So for me, it was like
tattoos and dreads.
Yeah, like it was a bad thing back then. In Charleston, South Carolina, you can't even get tattoos above the neck anymore. Every time I walk out, people are like, where you get your tattoos from? You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely, a lot different from what people in my city are used to, as far as when it comes out the look itself.
So what explain to us what is 8 World Entertainment?
So 8 World Entertainment is a literal umbrella of 4 different things. It's a hat brand, trademark. Make sure you get your stuff trademarked and branded. It's a clothing brand, trademarked as well. It's a staging company. Also, for everybody who doesn't know, it's an artist development and marketing service as well. So we do artist development here. People that are beginners that want to come into the game, we don't just throw you to the fire. We actually coach you through it. I have a manager by the name of Mr. Jones, Joel Jones. His father, Joel Jones coaches me too. His father is a very well-known DJ in Charleston, South Carolina.
Shout him out. Shout him
know
out.
what it is, man. DJ Jazzy J, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he definitely is a big name in the industry, you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to, be able to have people like that can coach me through everything I need to know as far as and how I know Joel Jones is a good manager for me, because Joel got me back in the church. And he's got me doing the sound for Mount Moriah Baptist Church now.
Shout out Mount Moriah.
Most definitely, Mount Moriah Baptist Church. They definitely accepted me with open arms, and they got me on the sound team. So anything that you hear on live at the mega church, that comes straight from your boy.
Who bought you your first piece of studio equipment?
I did. I bought my first studio equipment. My first, like I said, it was that light up Bluetooth speaker from Family Dollar. I think it was like $19. I sounded like an off-brand T-Pain. For real.
You make that shit work, dude.
For real. Made it work at the time. You know what I'm saying? That time we had like 7 listeners. So, yeah, it definitely was experience. And then, for a while, I had my own studio equipment, but I didn't know how to use it. Now I'm getting to new programs, I'm learning new things, and as I getting better and better at different things, I'm able to purchase more things and learn about it. And I love knowledge as well. I love knowledge, so being able to learn new things has been my key point of how I'm able to be to have the success I have and bring more people together. I love unifying people.
When it comes to producing your music, is this all self-taught?
It's self-taught, yes. I don't really, like I said, I don't, like you see, normally it'd be a bunch of people, but it's just me. Being self-taught is something that I pride myself in. I haven't been able to, I'm kind of a loner at the same time. So, doing that, I have a lot of time to sit back and learn new things. YouTube is like the new college. You can learn.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So I've learned everything from watching YouTube and learning how to do different keys, chords, increments, and stuff like that.
Shit.
Yeah.
Man, I just put the brakes on my damn car.
Watching YouTube, bro. I'm trying to tell you. You might not have to go to school no more.
Shit. But yeah, not sorry.
Oh, you good, man. You good.
So what do you want out of your career?
I want to be able to provide for my kids. That for me is an American dream. Everybody has their own version of the American dream, but for me, my American dream is doing what I love to do for a living with no boundaries. That's why I didn't sign no labels, nothing like that. Is because I wanted to be able to be free. And Say Cheese said something about some people about the industry or whatever, and my take on the industry is a lot of times when you sign to a label, they have the word control. And as an artist, one of the main things as an artist that you want is freedom. So if you don't want control and you want freedom to do as you please with your music, you want to be able to have those green lights whenever you want it. You know what I'm saying? There's no pressure. There's nobody in your ear telling you, hey, this needs to be done now. This needs to be done now. You know what I'm saying? It's,
right.
It's all when the time is right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Right. So who are some of the people that helps out with your vision? Who are some of the people that's on your team?
So Joel Jones, my manager, he's definitely somebody that definitely gives me a great vision on what I need to do and bring to the table. He's got me looking into some jazz music as well. So he's got me doing that. Let's see, Mr. Twin D, him again, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Definitely is giving me a lot of insight and vision on what I need to do. There's a lot of different artists out here, like Steve Olati is another guy who is a celebrity agent. He definitely works with a lot of different celebrities, and he's giving me a lot of insight and vision on what I need to do for my brand and stuff like that as well.
All right. So a couple of more questions, and then I'll get up out of your face. Were there any? This is gonna be a two-part question.
Okay.
Were there any mistakes or missteps earlier or even presently in your career that made you like want to quit? But the reverse of that, have there been any positive moments that that reinforces that I'm doing the right thing? Hey, I'm here for a reason with my music thing.
So good question. So for me, the positive is being in a city where support is at an all-time low. That's made me have blood that runs so much thicker than honey. Having that and understanding what not having the support that you really want from your city brings, you have to be able to swallow that. You know what I'm saying? And so the mistakes I made, I would say first going in, I should have done more advertising earlier. Advertising, billboard placements, as far as like billboards out here in the area, seeing people, artists. Back in the day, like you had like Dirty Dave, Molly Mall, and all of those guys, Pacino Dino, they were on billboards. And those billboards brought people, that it gave them more of a shine to who they were as a person and who they were as an artist. More people were able to know them.
Professional look.
And for me, I feel like that was my first mistake, was going into the music industry not knowing. It's really good if you want to be an artist to know a little bit about what you're getting into before you just step into it.
Yeah, it would help, right?
Helps a whole lot. Helps a whole lot. Or you're gonna be stuck, man. I hate to say it like this, but I don't do artist showcases anymore because now when I do my music and when I do different stuff, like I always look for. I'm a solution based kind of guy.
Right.
So I look for a solution. So for me, not throwing any shade on any artist showcases that are presented here in Charleston, I don't see an advancement in any artist showcases other than practicing on what I already know how to do. And if I practice on something I already know how to do, yeah, I'm gonna get better at it. But where is the actual growth?
I see the. Fuck it, man. We gonna get in trouble. We gonna get in trouble. the thing that I believe that the local artist showcase is missing, for one, is organization.
Yeah.
These shit be thrown together. You can tell that it's just a money hustle for a nigga trying to pay his rent at the end of the month.
Exactly.
Two, you're not inviting or bringing anybody that can educate the artist or let them know that, hey, either you're on the right track or you're on the wrong track.
Exactly.
So you're just in there rapping in front of motherfuckers for the sake of rapping. And it's going to hurt you eventually, because one thing you bet not do is waste your youth. If you're coming in the game and you're in your 15, 16, those are very precious years, and you cannot be wasting those years doing bumfuck shit.
Exactly.
With clowns.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't mean to cut you off, but when you're in that age range right there, and you know that this is what you want to do, you need to be solely into music. You need to be solely into what you're trying to do as far as the artist side of things. You don't want to get caught up in performing in front of the same people you go to church with. So with the artists in the showcases, be very mindful of how many times you do it. Don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. That's the main thing. Don't just because you got 100 people in front of you rocking to your music. That's another reason why I really don't like showcases anymore, is because you're performing in front of other artists. Your whole goal is, as an artist, you want to perform in front of people that could potentially be your fans. You know, at the time when you do an artist showcase, a lot of times when you're in artist showcases, people are just waiting and dying in line just to get on stage and perform. They're not really thinking about your music or what you're doing. They're actually focused on what they are going to do at that moment.
Right.
So for me, my best recommendation would be to start I know this can be extremely scary at some point when you are dealing with major artists that require you to pay an upfront cost to perform, because sometimes you will get scammed. Sometimes, people may take your money and run with it, and you go to the showcase and they're like, who are you? Why are you here? You know what I'm saying? And no one has any idea that you're supposed to open up for Kevin Gates, Rod Wave, or, Lil Baby, or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So that side of the industry can be extremely scary. So it's really about, when you have people in your corner that that are doing good business and that are doing good work, that you stick with them and they get you through those issues that you go through. Because I'm telling you right now, there is a side of the industry that people, a lot of people like myself have dealt with when it comes to labels or whatever the case may be, that we go through where we're scammed, shitted on, or whatever the case may be.
I have a working theory. I'm working on it. It's going to be my masterpiece documentary whenever I can actually put the pieces together. Yeah. But I always equate the hip hop industry to a pyramid scheme or MLM marketing scheme strategy. Yeah. Because the people that actually win, it is so few and far in between. But the money that you ask the average person to spend to get to a level that may or may not even be there is it's fishy to me. Yeah. I don't have all of it. Right. I'm just a little country nigga from St. Stephen. But when I get it, that's gonna be the masterpiece.
Word.
Last question. What's next for Mr. Lukas Swing?
So we just released a song on June the 10th, and that was 1992. We got 3 more releases coming out. This month is gonna be extremely heavy because we're trying to push out nothing but bops. Lately, y'all been hearing nothing but lyrical stuff, and I realize that is the reason why a lot of people in the city don't really grasp what I do, because right now in the city, a lot of people love the bops. You know what I'm saying? They love the trap music. They love the stuff that can be played in your car, and you know what I'm saying, like the hard stuff. So I have a lot of up-tempo beats and a lot of up-tempo vibes coming this month alone in itself. 4 songs we're dropping in 1 month. So It's definitely gonna be a lot of heat. The Flex 1992 is already out. Spotlight comes out on the 15th. And then we have Sex. No, I'm sorry, R&B Sex. R&B Sex. I know y'all gonna love that one, man. Y'all gonna love that one. Most definitely. We have some features on those songs as well. Shout out to Joel Bryant.
Tenfold. Well, I don't really have any more questions per se for you. I mean, we touched on everything. We touched on the rise.
Word.
We touched on, you know, what you got plans. You gave a little bit of advice or whatnot. Is there anything else that you would want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
Oh yeah. Now I know a lot of y'all know there wasn't an era that made music better than the 90s. So I'm telling you right now, the stuff that we got coming after these bops, we're taking it back to those vibes. We got a new song that I got coming out called Relax Your Mind. That's definitely a 90s flow, straight 90s. I'm talking about soul singing, no auto-tune involved, straight raw vocal. You know, raw vocals, nothing but entendres, painting a picture, definitely highlighting a woman's beauty at the same time, giving that feel of when you would listen to music back in the day, you either wanted to make a baby, you either wanted to get married, or you wanted to settle down. Right. One of the three. So we definitely have that coming for y'all soon.
Well, that's it, folks. This has been your boy Rio, Black Dollars Media. We've been here talking with Mr. Lukas Swing. Letting you know, putting you on point, putting you on game. 8 World Entertainment. He's working, putting out a lot of things behind the scenes, in front of the camera, behind the camera, all of those type things. Right. Writer, producer, rapper, singer. If you need a hit, you need to holler at him, to be honest with you. Just me being a outsider.
Appreciate it.
I see that you a major lane that you can run into the city as being a hook man for these boys.
Most definitely.
Getting on there, singing that thing for them boys, adding the melody to some of the trap music. So for those who out there who's trying to put together, you know, real songs that can generate some things, you need to also work with real talent. I mean, like, it's cooler. Get your homeboy out the trap. That's all right.
Right.
But if you're talking about generating some serious buzz and some serious views, you got to actually work with people that have the talent. Most definitely.
Longevity is key in the music industry. A lot of times when you listen to music, a lot of times you can hear a song today and forget it tomorrow. Our thing is to, one of my biggest phrases that I want to leave you guys with is make music that can last a lifetime. The same songs you guys are listening to from the 90s, they're still relevant to today. So if you make a song that's got feels that people can relate to and the things that people can grasp to and love the most out of life, you're gonna see that same. What's the best word I can use for that? You're gonna see that same exact type of acceptance that you're gonna get from your people as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something I want to leave you guys with is make songs that have longevity.
All right. Well, that is that. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being on Black Dollars Media, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Appreciate you coming out and, you know, chilling with your boy, man. For real, for real.
Hey, man. Till the next time.
Word.
Yeah. Bring them bad boys to life, you know what I'm saying? It's that swing shit, you know. Yeah. Look. 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's yours. Keep it on D&D, I show the pros. Took you out the country, so you know it's true. 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's yours. Keep it on D&D, I show the pros. Took you out the country, so you know it's. Hey, I've been on a mission, not the bad kind of stacks. I've been making money, not so politic on that. Where's all them niggas that was talking all the trash? I was running laps way before, back to back. I'm sorry, baby, he can never match what I match. He can't even slide on the block for a half. 401k, got it up to the max. Adding up these digits, I'm the king while I'm mad. Not your average artist, you can tell by the stats. I be yakking broke just to get you off my back. Why you only call when you need a couple racks? You don't even call just to see if I'm on a map. Compare me to who, you will never find a match. Oh, we dropped another song, I ain't listening to that. 8 Word on my body, yeah, I got the shit tag. It's a lifestyle, baby, you don't know about that. 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's yours. Keep it on D&D, I show the pros. Took you out the country, so you know it's true. 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's you. Keep it on D&D, I show the pro. Took you out the country, so you know it's. Ay. Ever since I got a bag, you been in a frenzy. All your friends know you was better off with me. Taking matters in your own hands, that was silly. Now you out here looking like you just lost a milli. Rollie on my wrist, but I don't wear to tell the time. This ain't nothing new, girl, I do this all the time. I keep the money from you cause I know what's on your mind. You wanna pay, nigga, but your heart ain't matching mine. 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's you. Keep it on D&D, I show the pro. Took you out the country, so you know it's true. 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's you. Keep it on D&D, I show the pro. Took you out the country, so you know it's 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's you. Keep it on D&D, I show the pro. Took you out the country, so you know it's true. 1992. 1992. Say I got a problem, but we know it's you.